Hello everyone and welcome to this special episode of the special series of podcasts. My name is Lucy and today I'm at the Between the Lines Festival run by Dymocks and joining me is Cristy Burne. Her books have been published across 6 countries in 3 languages and her favourite job is to work to embrace the intersection between science, technology and creativity. Ooh. So how are you?
I'm extremely excited. It's so wonderful to be here because we are live at the festival.
Yes, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this day for months and
It's
we're finally
so
here.
good. There's like beanbags, there's musicians, there's authors, illustrators, workshops. It's really, really fun.
So to start off, we're going to have a bit of a quick fire round. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. Would you rather?
Ice cream.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you started.
Yeah, you go. Okay. Smart or casual?
Casual.
Fiction or non-fiction?
I can't answer these.
First thing that comes to mind. Go.
No categories. They're not categories.
Reading or writing?
It's like, what's your favourite child? Yeah, I'm on strike.
Okay. Yeah, just skip. Just say no card. Left or right?
Left.
Yes.
Left.
Are you a left-hand?
Yeah,
Are you
all the
left-handed?
best people are left-handed.
I'm left-handed.
You see?
Yeah.
My theory is correct.
Hooray.
All the left-handed people.
Woo. We come together.
Yeah.
TV shows or movies?
Movies. I don't even own a TV.
No, night or day?
Ah.
It's tricky.
I like the in-between time.
Like
Yeah.
dawn and dusk?
Yeah, dawn and dusk. Ooh, like a vampire.
Rain or shine?
What was that one?
Rain or shine?
Shine.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise, but I never get to see it.
No, that's what I say. I was talking to another author and I said, yeah, I love sunrise too. And Mum was like, you have never been up for
I
sunrise
know,
before.
but I want to be a morning person.
Yeah.
Like, it's so healthy, it's so good for you to be a morning person.
I just can never wake up.
No, I'm just not. But I aspire to be a morning person.
Yeah, I imagine myself.
Yeah.
Invisibility or flight?
Flight.
Cafe or restaurant?
Cafe.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
And coffee or tea?
Coffee.
That is
Oh yeah, easy. Those ones are
Yeah.
easy.
Good job. We
Thank
made
you.
it through. Now to the longer questions.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a question I love to ask everyone. When you begin a book, or your wonderful books are here, do you start with a concept, character, place, or thing, or something completely different?
Like how do you get started?
Yeah, how do you come up with the idea?
So sometimes it's like this book here is a non-fiction biography. So the publisher just rang me and said, would you like to do a biography of Fiona Wood? And I was like, hell yes, I would love to do a biography of Fiona Wood.
Yes,
she's
please.
amazing, yes. So, right from the word go, you already have the concept, it's narrative non-fiction, so you're told what to do. And I've been a journalist for 20 years, so I'm used to being told what to do. For a particular magazine or a newspaper or a particular column, you have to write a particular way. So I'm good at taking instructions. Don't ask my husband if that's true or not.
I won't.
Yeah, but for a fiction book, like for this book here, Beneath the Trees, this book came just because I had to start writing.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I think about it. I think I
You
just
just write.
have a feeling and I want to write that feeling onto the page.
Yeah.
And then if I need a character to convey that feeling,
That's how you make
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, so it's different for every time. This book is a collaboration between Dennis Knight and myself. And so for that, he wrote the first chapter and I read the first chapter and then I just had to write the second chapter.
Yeah.
And then I send the second chapter to him and he has to write the
So
third
it's already
chapter.
there for you. Almost.
Yeah. But then you get to play with it, you get to twist it, you get to put it in a cliffhanger and then he has to deal with it and try and, so it's awesome. And I think that's what I love about writing is that every book is different and every story is told a different way.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's such a dynamic thing to be doing. Yeah.
And when you write, do you have a whole idea in mind? I know you obviously did for the non-fiction one.
Yeah.
But I guess for fiction, do you have a whole idea or do you just write and just see where the story takes you?
I am, because I have a science background and because I've been working as a journalist for so long, so I do plan things and I do like to be analytical. So I have a structure, and I think all stories have that same structure, right? Like they have an introduction, there's a problem, the thing gets worse, the character tries to do something, it gets even worse. Then they have a big climax, it's all exciting, and then there's a happily ever after. So I do follow that skeleton when I'm writing a story.
Yeah. And on your website, it says you work to blend science with wonder. How do you do that? And what does that mean?
Okay, so science is wonder. Science is about invention. Science is about discovery. Science is about learning about the world. It's about looking at something and going, wow, like that is so cool. I never imagined that could happen. It blows my mind. Yeah. From like little tiny insects to the massive universe, to how to make things better for people around the world, sanitation, health, food, all those things, to the incredible weirdness of the world. Yeah. So this book, for example, has pink slugs in it, bright pink slugs. And people are like, oh wow, Cristy, you're so imaginative. How did you think of fluorescent pink slugs? I didn't, they're real. There are giant bright pink slugs that live in Australia. Yeah, they're a native species of Australia. I won't be able to sleep tonight. Yeah, but they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous, and they only live in one place. They live on the top of an extinct volcano in New South Wales.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and they only come out in the rain. So if you go there in the sunshine, you won't see them. But in the rain, they all come slithering out. Wow. They're awesome.
So have to search it out. That's
interesting. Giant pink slugs. So that's wondrous. That's like the world is amazing.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Yeah. And if we can get everybody, but because I work for kids, if we can get kids to start thinking outside the box and start looking around and going, that's wondrous, that's amazing, that's incredible. How can I take those ideas? How can I innovate? How can I make tomorrow even better than today? And together we can make a huge difference in our world. Yeah. And that's science. Yeah. That's why your toilet flushes. Because of science, right?
It's all science.
Yeah. Every time I push the button, I'm like, thank you, science.
Thank you for this toilet.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, and I think we need to be responsible with it too. Like, it's our power to choose what we do with tomorrow. Yeah. It's your power. It's the children who are going to decide.
Next generation.
So I want to make them as able and capable and compassionate and creative as possible, and courageous, because we have to have great courage to face tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's a fantastic motive.
Yeah.
Especially for writing, for science.
It's across all my books that I want. And like when you read a book, it changes you.
Definitely,
So that's what I do.
I manipulate your mind.
Yeah.
And last of all, could you tell us a bit about your book, Beneath the Trees?
This book came out in the middle of COVID lockdown, so it didn't really get a launch, so I'm glad you asked, because it's a beautiful book. It's very dear to my heart because it is based on a true and terrible story.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's based on a family holiday. How long have we got? Because it's a horrible story.
No, go. Spill.
I took my two kids who were in year 2 and year 4 to Queensland, to the rainforest, and my husband came too, and we were going to go on this beautiful holiday to see wild platypus. And it's an incredible thing to see, like these beautiful, crazy, they're so beautiful, they're so incredible, like they lay eggs, but they feed their young with milk. That's bizarre. They don't even have nipples. The mother just oozes milk out of her stomach and the babies roll around on it. Like, that's cool, right? That's so cool. So I wanted to see baby platypus, well, any platypus. Yeah. And when we got there, it was raining so badly that the river was up and all the platypus were hiding. So instead of watching platypus, we went for a hike. And on that hike, we got dropped off at a car park, and then we had about 8 kilometres of hike through the rainforest, right? And the people from the hotel just dropped us off at the car park, and we're like, bye, have a great hike, we'll see you at lunch. And we started walking, and then about 1 kilometre in, my year 2 said, Mummy, what's this little black caterpillar on my leg? And I was like, that's weird. that doesn't look like a caterpillar, honey. And of course it wasn't a caterpillar. I was trying to pull it off his leg and pull it off its leg. And it was stuck to his leg. So I had to dig my fingernails in and pull this thing off, because of course it was not a caterpillar, it was a leech.
Yeah. I was like, not be a leech, not be a leech. Oh.
It's a leech. And while we were dealing with this one leech, and I'm like trying not to puke, and it's horrible, and I know, like, and everyone's screaming, and it was horrible. And I was trying to be the mum, and I was trying to be calm and show an example. So I calmly pulled it off and flicked it into the bushes, but it was stuck on my finger. So then I had to pull it off that finger and flick it, and then it was stuck on my other finger, and I'm trying not to lose my...
It's like screaming.
It's horrible, right? And it's raining, and we're knee deep in mud, not knee deep, ankle deep, but the whole rainforest was flooded.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, we have to go home. And I said, okay, but if we go back to the car park, there was no reception on my phone, right? We had no reception. So if we went back to the car park, we would have to walk down the road for 8 kilometres. And I was like, come on guys, we've already done a kilometre, there's only 7 to go.
Yeah.
You know, we've got food, we've got water, how bad can it be? Probably it's just this section, right?
And then it gets all smooth from
there. There's probably not another leech for miles. No. Even while we were standing there, leeches were climbing into our shoes, they were climbing into our socks, they were diving in and out of the holes where your shoelaces go. It was so horrible. And we just like screamed and ran, and it didn't stop. Anytime, like if you stopped to tie your shoelaces, if you stopped to pull a leech off yourself, if you stopped to drink water, more leeches would come on you. They were dropping on us from trees. I had one on my baton.
Oh my goodness. I've seen a friend with one leech on them, and I freaked out. Yes. I can't imagine having like, oh no, thank you.
No, it's horrible. And so I won't tell you how it ends. But I'm so proud of my kids. So remember I was saying, my books are about courage, and they're about resilience. You know, having that, you know, stuff is not going well. How am I going to cope? How am I going to get out of this situation? And it got way worse than what I've just told you. And they coped, you know, they cried, they were terrified, I was terrified, I thought I've killed my children, we're not going to get out of this alive. And we did, and we just did the best we could at that moment, and I think that's all anyone can ever do. And I think that's a great message. Like, I want kids to read this. I want them to know my year 2 did this. You know,
brave the leeches.
And you can do it too. And interestingly enough, the very next day we went back to the same piece of rainforest, and it had stopped raining, and all the mud was gone, and all the leeches were gone, and the platypus was swimming in the river. So do go there.
That's a nice ending.
It's a place called Yangala National Park. Absolutely beautiful. If it is raining, maybe don't go on a hike.
Run the opposite way.
Yeah, but I mean, it was... And it was such an easy book to write because so much of it is true. And there's a platypus in there, a very specific platypus that's also based on real life. It's based on science, on a news story that I saw on the ABC. So, I love to write combining facts and real life.
Like take it from everything.
Yeah, so that's the story. That's the condensed version of the story. It's,
What a whirlwind that must have been.
But interestingly enough, now the kids laugh about it. And they...
No trauma?
No trauma. Thank you. So you know when you go on a holiday and something really terrible does happen? That's the bits you remember. That's the bit that gives your life texture.
You can laugh about that.
Yeah, exactly. And we do. And I think they've forgiven me.
Hopefully. Well, that is it. You have been a fantastic guest. Thank you so much. You were so entertaining.
It's so cool to be here, and I can't wait to get back out into the festival and play. You're still working here, right? Hats off to work. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give us a like on YouTube, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. Goodbye, and keep reading.
Yay!